Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows where things are going wrong for Ruben Amorim at Manchester United and doesn't believe it's fully his fault. The Red Devils have been woeful since the Portuguese coach was appointed as Erik ten Hag's successor at Old Trafford. He has won just 5 of his 16 Premier League games so far, leaving United sitting 14th in the table. A number of players have struggled to fit into Amorim's stubborn 3-4-2-1 formation so far, and Solskjaer believes the issues start from the squad being made up of stars being signed under a host of previous managers. Asked if there is too much of a sacking culture at Old Trafford by The Athletic, the Norwegian replied, "That's for the people at the top of United. But an issue is that the manager plays with the previous manager's players. I just remember a great time at United apart from the last 6 weeks. Great people, and the culture is in the people. Going back to United was like going back to my family, like I'd never been away. But Besiktas also feels like a family club, with respect for each other. There are members of staff who've been here for 10, 20, 30 years." Solskjaer, 52, spent nearly 3 years at Old Trafford, going trophyless before he was eventually sacked in November 2021, following a shocking defeat to Watford. And while things went wrong for Solskjaer with United, he remains proud of the work he did at the club given the challenges he faced. "Those last 6 weeks were hard, I can't deny that, but we were also top of our Champions League group," Solskjaer added. "It was the 2 games against City and Watford that did it. But I maintain that finishing 2nd and 3rd in my 2 full seasons wasn't bad given the level in the Premier League. We also reached a European final, but I see what Jose Mourinho means when he says that his best achievement was getting his United side to 2nd in the league." Back to the present day, under fire Amorim has a chance to make it back-to-back victories this season over the coming week. United take on Real Sociedad in the Europa League on Thursday, ahead of a clash with Arsenal in the Premier League a few days later. Manchester United have been told former star Paul Pogba could aid Ruben Amorim's bid to salvage the Red Devils' season. Former United forward Louis Saha has revealed he would take Pogba back at Old Trafford in a heartbeat as the Frenchman prepares to make his return to football. The 31-year-old was allowed to begin training in January following his doping ban and can return to playing in March. Pogba received an 18-month ban after testing positive for non-endogenous testosterone in September 2023, and in November 2024, the midfielder parted ways with Juventus via mutual consent. That, according to Saha, leaves United with an opportunity they can take advantage of as they deal with a number of injuries. The former Fulham, Everton and Newcastle striker reckons a move could be mutually beneficial and that Pogba, in search of rejuvenating his career, could offer quality, confidence, leadership and a guarantee for United head coach Amorim as his side languishes in the Premier League. "Yes, I would take Paul Pogba back at Manchester United in a heartbeat," Pogba told best betting sites. "It's not only because of the squad that we have now with injuries and all that, but for all the elements that he brings as a player. We need guarantees. We need quality, we need confidence, we need leadership, and this guy now has an opportunity to show how much he wants it. Pogba can show he has the ability to be one of the best in the league in this position, especially with the motivation and the focus that he has to understand where he can improve and what parts of his game he needs to adapt. Pogba has to focus on himself and think, all those things that I've done in the past, I should not do anymore. It's an opportunity to sign someone who is highly motivated. He's going to obviously still have huge confidence about his ability. I'm sure that when he looks at this midfield at United, he has a different type of vibe in his game. So definitely it's an easy fit. I think that he will communicate with the manager. He would be humble after the situation. He's been injured. He's been banned. I'm sure Pogba wants the visibility. He wants to go back to a French team as soon as possible, so he just needs to pick the right project. For him to get back into the national team, he needs to show that he can still do it at the top level. United would be signing a player that is completely dedicated and focused on achieving his goals, because he's been out of the game for so long. I'm sure that the most important thing for Pogba would be to show Amorim and the Manchester United fans that he is still one of the best players in the world. He will want to show people how good he was and how good it can still be. I think it's a nice opportunity for the club and the player. Ruben Amorim admitted his job is so hard after yet another defeat, but insisted he is not under threat. Manchester United boss AMORIM has now collected just 14 points from a possible 42 since taking charge last November, and this was the third time Tottenham have beaten them this season. AMORIM has also seen his squad further decimated by injuries, as United winger Amad Diallo has been ruled out for the rest of the campaign. AMORIM, whose team are now 15th in the table, said, "I have a lot of problems. My job is so hard here. But I stick with my beliefs. We just need to face it and not run away. That is my feeling. I am not worried. I understand our fans, what the media think about it. I hate to lose. That feeling is the worst. It's hard to face the fans in this moment, but we are doing everything. I'm doing everything. The rest I am not thinking about. I am here to help my players. I understand my situation, my job. I am confident in my work, and I just want to win games. The place in the table is my worry. I am not worried about me." James Maddison got the winner and took aim at TV pundit Roy Keane, who this week criticised the Tottenham midfielder for not being a difference maker. Maddison, who celebrated his goal by putting his finger to his mouth to signal shush, said, "I've always been a goal-scoring midfielder. That's why Spurs brought me to the club. I'm there to be that creative outlet and score goals. There was a little bit of outside noise this week. People will have their opinions. Nobody is more critical of me than myself." Tottenham boss Ange Postecoglou believes the win, and players returning to fitness could be a turning point for his season, but also said he could have no sympathy for AMORIM. There was a big protest from fans before the game, about 1,000 strong, but the sit-in protest did not really materialise afterwards, as just a small number remained with banners against chairman Daniel Levy. Postecoglou said, "If I check my office, I don't have any sympathy cards from other managers, so that hasn't happened. It's unacceptable that we're in the position we are. But the circumstances have dictated that to a great extent. The circumstances will change. The guys who came back in today will improve and make us stronger. There's still 2 or 3 more on the horizon who will also come back. That gives us an opportunity before long. It's only one game, but I thought today was an important game if we were going to start that progress. Getting 3 points makes us think, okay, it's starting to make an impact too." Bruno Fernandes has played every minute for Manchester United so far in 2025, but what is interesting isn't the amount of time the club captain is spending on the pitch, but where he is spending it. Fernandes has always been undroppable at United, not simply because he has the armband on, but because of his influence on the team as the most potent attacking weapon. But that is something Ruben Amorim has begun to sacrifice. Fernandes has started and completed 9 games in a row this year, but in all bar one of them he has at least had a spell in a deeper midfield role. In the last 3 games against FCSB, Crystal Palace and Leicester City, he has been a permanent fixture there as he develops a partnership with Manuel Ugarte. That move partly came about after Kobbie Mainoo was moved further forward in Bucharest. Not only did the academy graduate impress as a number 10, but Amorim has made it clear he has no intention to return the 20-year-old to a deeper role, admitting he was struggling with the defensive side of the game in midfield. That has created a vacancy next to Ugarte, and Fernandes is the man to fill it. Casemiro and Christian Eriksen are both only bit-part players now under the Portuguese head coach, and it seems that both lack the physical attributes to play that role. And with Mainoo's defensive work under the spotlight, it only really leaves Fernandes and rookie midfielder Toby Collier. The partnership between Ugarte and Fernandes has shown early promise. The Uruguayan brings plenty of steel to the midfield and is excellent at winning the ball back and putting opponents under pressure. Fernandes brings a bit more composure and quality in possession, and with United's build-up play under Amorim still being a work in progress, that ability on the ball can be key in deeper areas. Passing stats aren't yet available for the Leicester City game on FBrEF, but the fixtures against Palace and FCSB ranked 1st and 5th for Fernandes this season in terms of passes he has attempted and 2nd and 3rd for successful passes. It shows the influence he now has in that role and the contribution he could make to United's structure from that position. Moving Fernandes to that deeper role has been partly out of necessity, with options for that position next to Ugarte dwindling, but in that area of the pitch, it looks like a realistic option for the future for Amorim. His current problem is that every decision like that can have a knock-on effect. and taking Fernandes away from a number 10 impacts United's creativity. That is a major issue at the moment. Amad, Mainu, and Alejandro Garnacho have filled those roles behind the striker lately, but they don't yet offer the same reliability and consistency as Fernandes as an attacking weapon. The 30-year-old's record of 88 goals and 78 assists in 269 games for the club is outstanding, but most of those contributions come from attacking midfield. In time, United might be able to replace them, and Fernandes will still contribute from deeper, both in open play and from set pieces. Amad has the potential to be a major source of goals and assists, and Garnacho has been this season, although he has yet to make one of those inside roles his own under AMORIM. Mainu showed in that Europa League game in Bucharest that he has real strengths to bring to an attacking role, notably his ability to work in tight areas and manipulate the ball. He got on the score sheet in that game and had at least one other good chance, but his momentum stalled when he pushed up to the striking role against Palace. Right now, Mainu, Amad and Garnacho are works in progress. They have the ability to really make that role their own, but they don't yet offer the consistent level of goal threat that Fernandes did. That is the risk with moving the Portuguese playmaker back to a deeper role at this stage of the team's development.